Welcome back to the Light Skinema podcast. This is episode 2. I am Nick with my amazing co-host Jathan, and our focus of discussion today is going to be on Cinema Paradisimo. We both watched it
You
together
mean
last Sunday.
Cinema Paradiso?
Paradiso, yes, Paradisimo. That's too much Italian. Cinema Paradiso, yes, thanks for the correction. We watched it together last Sunday. We haven't spoken a word about it to each other. We pretty much watched it and then went home. So, yeah, we're looking forward to discussing it, but of course, we're going to start off the episode just with, just some housekeeping stuff, just
Weekly
how our weeks have been,
recaps.
just what we've been watching. So, I don't know if any movie news or any movies you want to talk about or your life, anything going on right now?
Yeah, I did see the trailer for Marty Supreme,
Hmm.
starring Timothy Chalamet, and that looks interesting. I like that there's like a ton of I guess sports movies coming out that like people generally wouldn't be interested in, like tennis or golf or like table tennis.
Yeah.
But no, it looks good. The trailer looks good. I like the actors in it. I think it's gonna be a
Hmm.
fun ride. And James Gunn announced the Superman saga,
Yeah,
whatever
I
that
was shocked to
means.
see that. I don't know if that's including like Supergirl and I'm not sure what that means. We didn't get to review Superman. Obviously, we didn't start the podcast yet, but we have different opinions on Superman. We had a little funny text exchange when we both saw it, so that was fun. But
Hmm.
I mean, I'll be watching for sure. I'm not gonna say I'm not excited for what DC has in store, but I wasn't in love with Superman.
I told you this after I saw it, but it felt like a great movie to introduce the new DC universe, but like an okay to good Superman film. I mean,
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah.
I think they played it very safe in a good way, as in like there's a lot of controversy around James Gunn and the cut that actually came out with the film, because a lot of the reports surrounding the film just showcased a different pacing to the film, which I think a lot of people had a complaint about. But it's
Hmm.
interesting to see what he's going to do with DC, especially when he has the keys to the whole franchise.
Yeah, for sure.
But what about you? What have you been up to?
Uh, I mean, same old normal stuff. Work, just mentally prepping. I assume the same with you, getting ready for school to start. Then our schedules probably won't be as fun because I know you're going to be going back to work out there and obviously school. That's, it's a grind, but it's what we got to do.
Senior year.
Yeah. Well, technically, I'm in my second semester junior year. I'm still
Round it
still a
up.
touch behind. Yeah. But normal movie watching is kind of a lighter week for me so far, just because work has been crazy and I've been super tired. But I rewatched High and Low, Killers of the Flower Moon rewatch. I love both of those.
Hmm.
Finally got to Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Were Rabbit, which I'm a big fan of Wallace and Gromit. I don't know how much of them you've seen, but
It's
yeah, I,
cute.
I very much
I,
enjoy them.
I appreciate the animation.
Yeah, I love stop motion. I love claymation animation as well. Oh, and actually about the Marty Supreme trailer, I did a trailer reaction on my TikTok page, and I actually got a I don't even know what you would call it, like an email or something from A24
Really?
that yeah, they actually, and I'm not even making this up. They sent me something that they're gonna start obviously doing like ads and running campaigns for Marty Supreme coming up, and they asked if they could use my video in an ad thing. So if they do choose it, I could get um put in some, I don't know, Marty Supreme campaign maybe for whatever they're doing, and if it does get used and like my video gets views or whatever, the video could get monetized. So that would actually be my first, I guess, money made in talking about movies. So that would be cool. But
Wow.
even if I'm not even lying, even if it doesn't, I could care less. I think it's just cool because obviously A24 is a pretty big movie
Prestigious
studio
company.
nowadays. Yeah, just for them to. It wasn't like an email like in my email inbox. It was on YouTube, like not. I mean, not YouTube, in TikTok, in like my direct messages. So that was pretty cool to see. If I got to be honest, I was pretty excited to see that. So I'll see what happens in the next few months because they said it'll probably take a while before they decide what they're going to use for their ads. But I thought that was pretty cool. Plus, I'm a big fan of the director Josh Safdie. So
Mm-hmm.
and he's a pretty much a main reason why I love film as much as I do. So that was a cool thing. Whatever comes of it, I think it was just pretty cool.
Hey, if A24 is watching this, like, we can talk on LinkedIn. Like, I'm very, very open to working with you. But
Yeah, me too,
congrats to
100%.
Nick. Definitely subscribe to him on his pages. He has some great content.
Thank you.
Um,
But
I think we should. Is there anything
if
else you
you,
want to talk about?
I would not anything individually, but I was just gonna say, did you want to talk about last Sunday, just kind of our double feature and kind of
Yeah, I was
put some insight on?
actually.
We've done a couple of those. Oh, that's where you're going to? Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it.
So
Go for it.
we started the day watching Spider-Man 2,
Hmm.
directed by. Let me pull this up. Sam Raimi, and usually a sequel in a superhero trilogy is very hit or miss for me, but I think this is the best film in the trilogy, and it's
Okay,
been
nice.
years since I've seen Spider-Man 3, and Spider-Man 1 is a little more recent in my mind, but you just have a great arc here with Peter going through a huge crisis. He's starting to lose his powers. He's not confident in himself. Everyone's being an asshole towards him. It's just
Mhm.
Spider Man at his best when he chooses to be a hero above all else.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I I think I mean we both watched this as a kid for sure, but you said you hadn't seen it in a very long time. Um, I love Spider-Man 2. It's actually I give it a 4.5 out of 5. So I adore it, and I would say in all the Spider-Man films, including Spider-Verses, it's probably my third ranked. But I do like Spider-Man 1 a touch more just because I think the origin story is arguably one of the best. I think Spider-Man 1 and Batman Begins have the best superhero origin stories. I'd probably give the nod to Spider-Man, but it's so good. I think this has the best fight scenes in any Spider-Man movie still, I think, with Doc Ock in the bank. I love that fight and on the train. I think both of those are really, really great. Um, I mean the serious moments, I guess, I don't know what you call them, but the relationship stuff in this is it's cringy. I mean, there's no denying that, but I think it just leaves for kind of a fun time. And honestly, you know, some guys are like that. Just people throw them a bone and they just it goes right over their head. But I mean I do really love the Raimi trilogy. I mean, if you're a Spider-Man fan, I don't see how you can't love these films.
Definitely worth revisiting, and I just had a great time. Um,
100%.
is there anything about this film that, like, you didn't remember that, like, shocked you on rewatch?
Not this rewatch, but I would say let me. I have my letterbox on my separate monitor right here. I'm gonna pull up the first review I had for it because the first time I watched this in a long time was April 15th of last year, so not even that long ago. But I would say the only stuff that really surprised me was kind of I would say how relatable the Spider-Man film is, and I get Spider-Man's a very relatable character to everybody, but I feel I feel like this one in particular because he's just dealing with so much stress. And I mean, he loses his powers in this pretty much because he's stressing about Aunt May. He's stressing about MJ. He's stressing about this responsibility of Spider-Man. He's in college, like all that type of stuff. So I found that really refreshing when I did watch it last year for the first time in many many years. It was good just to see that. But I did remember most of the fights and just the overall plot structure. But it's a film I'll never get sick of. I love revisiting the Raimi trilogy. It's really, really fun.
I really appreciated the horror aspects from Sam Raimi here, especially when There's one
Yes.
scene in
Yep.
particular when Doc Ock is on the table where like he just utilizes those arms to their full potential. You get all these different crazy camera movements. It's just really a treat to look at, and it's nice like seeing different genres poured into a superhero film, and it just makes it really refreshing.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely get those chainsaw moments from Evil Dead.
Yeah.
If anybody's seen those movies, I'm sure they have. Yeah, our next film we're talking about, which was in our double feature last Sunday, is obviously Cinema Paradiso. Paradiso. I keep saying Paradisimo. Gotta stop saying that. Yeah, and this was obviously the film we decided to do our review on this week, and I don't know if you want to kind of touch on what it's about and kind of kick us off.
Yeah, so it's a story about movies, obviously. We're obviously going to dive into spoilers here, so here's your last chance. Um,
Well, maybe introduce it first a little bit, then maybe we can say like our initial reaction to it, then get into more
yeah,
spoilery. Yeah.
okay, so it's about a kid in Italy who falls in love with film and develops this friendship with this projectionist at his local theater. And you see him just really bond with him, grow as a person, and just enjoy movies, fall in love, and then realize what he's meant to do in life and what kind of comes with that sacrifice.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think this is a film that we both had either in our letterbox watch list or a mental watch list for a long time. I think it's actually the first one of the first films you recommended when you brought up the idea of doing this podcast. I'm pretty sure you mentioned that this would be a good film to watch, and I mean it was perfect for us. Like I said, we watched it, we didn't talk about it, so this is the first time we're getting to talk about it. But we were looking over at each other multiple moments, and we were just kind of enthralled with this, just beaming. I
Hmm.
mean, I feel like anybody that grew up with film and was a kid that loved going to the movies can relate to his official name is Salvatore, I think, but they call him Toto in the movie.
Yeah,
If I'm
nickname.
not, yeah, Toto. I feel like anybody can relate to him. He's just a kid that is obviously comes from a small town in Italy that, it doesn't seem like there's a bunch going on in the town besides the cinema, and he just is enthralled with how the movies are projected and you know how the inner workings of it. So I was expecting this to be great. I definitely think it's great. It's easily, I think, upon rewatch, it will go into my favorite films of all time list pretty easily. I mean, I just had a blast with it.
Yeah, I gave it a 5, as you can see on the letterbox page here. But like you said, this is a film where anyone can kind of put their shoes into the protagonist's role here in the story. Just being
Hmm.
this kid who's like, it's just really refreshing to see this kid who's just in love with something and discovering something for the first time. And it's like really just very emotional for me, at least when I watched this for the first time. And there's just so much to love. Like the music here is really enchanting. Remind me who did the score.
Did you add it to your list on Letterbox of
Yes.
scores? Did I see that?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Ennio Morricone.
Yes. I was surprised to see his name in the opening credits. I didn't know that he scored this, and I think he has the two best scores in my opinion in cinema history, in The Hateful Eight and The Thing. Both those scores, I think, heighten those movies a lot, and I was very pleased to see his name on the opening credits. Oh, obviously, in The Good, Bad, the Ugly. I forgot that as well. That trilogy.
Fistful of
The Untouchables
Dollars.
too.
I
The
mean,
Untouchables. That opening score song is amazing.
look at how many films he's done. 435. But
Yeah, it's. I mean, he's an absolute titan in the filmmaking industry for sure.
but yeah, I was just enthralled. Similar to Nick, I had high expectations just from being a film student. I feel like this was definitely a movie made to challenge me, and
Hmm.
I kind of expected it to be, not saying that was bad or anything, but a little boring. Like I might fall asleep watching it, but the sound is enthralling. You just see all these different machines and like aspects to the theater and like the audience members that are really captivating that other directors would just make very in the background or not important, but they really highlight the magic of going to see a movie here. And it's just a beautiful film, and I was really captured by its message. The acting was excellent, and despite being in a different language, like the message couldn't be more clear to me.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely, I feel like now we should get into the meat of the movie. I think you said you prepped some questions. I have some too, just to, you know, spark the conversation. But I just wanted to start with this is just kind of a fun question, but were there any films that, obviously this film showcases a bunch of actual films that have made history. Was there any that you noticed, or maybe any that kind of caught your eye?
Um, just
If
go ahead.
if not, I was gonna say I could rifle off a couple, but
Okay, so I did notice a ton of John Ford movies, namely
mhm.
Stagecoach. I noticed It's a Wonderful Life. I noticed Casablanca. Those are the three that come to mind.
Oh yeah. Also, there was the one that I really stuck out to me was Spartacus, the Stanley Kubrick movie with Kirk Douglas. He played that one when they were projecting near the water towards, like, I would say, the end of the film. But um, there was one film in particular because obviously a big thing about this cinema is it is ran by kind of the church, and they cut out all the kissing scenes, sexual scenes. And there's one movie I don't know what the movie is. I probably should have researched what it was, but um, it was the one where it was a man and a woman like laying on rocks near the kind of shoreline. Whatever movie that was, they cut to that a few times in the movie. I think two or three times, and I don't know. I don't know what the movie is, but it really just stuck out to me and struck me because you see it like twice before they cut the scene out, and then at the end of the film, I think this is a spoiler, so just spoilers said where what is the projectionist's name? I forget.
Alfredo.
Alfredo. When Alfredo gives Toto that reel of film that he spliced together, it's all like the kissing scenes and love scenes that got cut out of all the movies. You get to see that scene finally fully play out, which I thought was really, really sweet at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I was not expecting that at all. There's just a ton of moments in the film that like are kind of throwaway lines that you like don't really pay attention to, but comes around later, and it's just really just great filmmaking. I'm gonna run out of adjectives here, but
Me too, yeah, for sure.
um,
There definitely were a lot of amazing shots in this, and while I was watching, it made me think of you because obviously you're into photography heavy as well. What did you think about those? They do it a few times in the movie where they have those kind of still shots that either kind of widen out or they kind of slowly did like a push in on them, where it's just showing like the landscape of like the town a little bit. Those shots really impacted me. Did you feel anything about those? Did you notice those? I feel like obviously that's something that you could appreciate a lot.
yeah, there were some shots that stuck out to me in particular. One was the demolition of the Paradiso at
Mm,
the end of the movie, where they
yeah.
show us after decades of Toto leaving his town. I forget the name, but it just looks decrepit. It looks like there's no soul left in it at all. Um, this isn't the specific shot, but he goes inside and it's like looks like the life was just sucked out of it. Like all the chairs are broken. He's just kind of standing around picking up these like debris pieces. And then when he heads out and they finally blow up the building and all the dust flies up in the air, you can't like completely make out their expressions, but
Hmm.
the character who ran the Paradiso and the other franchises, the the movie theaters. Like you could see him
Yep.
like beginning to tear up and like really get sad about it, and I thought that was brilliant because it's just subtle enough. Um, there's this one shot in the rain where Salvatore is lying down. It looks straight out of a comic book. It was he comes back
Oh yeah.
to Italy and he's waiting for his girl to come by, and I thought that was just really impressive. It represented the aloofness he felt in the moment, especially with like the rain hitting his forehead. And I said this out loud to you when I was watching it, but I need to go visit Italy. Like
Yeah.
I haven't been, but it looks perfect. Like there's so many little uh geographical features, and I just need to walk around honestly in
Yeah.
Italy.
I was definitely thinking about it for maybe my spring break this year because you can get some good deals on Expedia. Not to shout out them, but yeah, Italy is like just awesome. I mean, for much as this film is like, they probably obviously had a pretty low budget, and a lot of this film does take place in that cinema, but when they do get to walk around Italy a little bit and get those wide shots that we were talking about, it's so beautiful, and it's just, I feel like, I don't know. Obviously, we were very locked into the movie, but I feel like anytime it focused on like the wide shots, or just the landscape shots, they hold it for like 10 seconds, and I feel like I just like was so in the moment, and I felt like I was there, even though obviously we were sitting in my basement watching on a TV screen, but it did feel like we were there.
I don't want to be too much of a film nerd, but like there's definitely a ton of wallpaper worthy shots here.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like we both said, we both had high expectations going in, but they just were pretty much met and kind of excelled. I was just so enthralled with this. I mean, I got some more questions. I don't know if you have any you want to rifle off at me or any certain thing you wanted to talk about next, but
Um, yeah, I'll ask you.
hmm
How did you relate to this film?
yeah, I would. That's similar to what I was gonna say. I think there is parts of Toto that I think I related to a lot when I was. I mean, we're still young. We're both 21 years old, but I would say when I was more younger, with him kind of being so wide-eyed. But I think I related more to this with Toto at the end when he's an adult, and more so with the projectionist Alfredo. I think there is more so with Alfredo because he takes so much pride and joy in his job. Like I think there's a line. This is not verbatim, but he says something of, this job isn't great. Like I don't want you to do this job, Toto, but there is this type of reward that comes with it. Seeing a packed cinema and seeing everybody, laughing, smiling, having a good time. He's like, that's what makes it worth it. And I do feel like in a lot of ways I can relate to that. Right now in my life, I would feel I'm definitely my actual job. It's not something I would say I'm passionate about. Right now, it's just a good job for me to have in college and kind of just, pays the few bills I need to pay. But it's definitely not what I'm passionate about. But, there is some satisfaction in it. I do have people I work with that I consider friends now, which is a good thing. But yeah, I think just Salvatore being he is married, but he doesn't have children, but just being kind of a lonely guy up there in that booth. And, he does appreciate his job. He takes um, a lot of pride in it, but I feel like he doesn't start to enjoy life and enjoy the better things until Toto comes in and he keeps coming in his projection room and he keeps bothering him over and over. And at first, he's just a nuisance. And, Toto in the beginning of the movie is very very annoying. I would say I'm not gonna hold back. He is pretty annoying, but he's just a kid looking for fun. But as their relationship kind of bonds and evolves, I feel like that kind of encompasses me a little bit because I feel like I'm very much alone and solemn and keep a lot of thoughts to myself. But my family, and obviously you're a great friend of mine. When I do get to you know do just fun things in life, or just how they do, they're literally just sitting together talking, and you can see the smiles on both of their faces. That's kind of what I related to most about this film.
That was pretty good. I relate to this film because, as mentioned, it touched my inner child, and I'm kind of reading off a list here because I did want to
Yeah,
get
that's
my
fine. Go
thoughts
for it.
down. Um,
Yeah.
Alfredo telling Salvatore to never come back like really made me mad in the moment because it's like it's such a radical like thought process, and it's a gut punch because he tells him to leave everything he cherishes, but it's what makes him great and it's what he needs to hear to become this great director. And I think his character really kind of struggles with that in the beginning because you see him kind of tossing and turning in bed. His mom later mentions that she hears a ton of women answering his phone for him, but it doesn't sound like anyone that loves him. So,
Yeah, that was a tough line.
it really made me think like obviously not saying that real life is like as serious, but it's definitely a choice you have to make when you're someone of his stature and his presence and just people in general who are famous who kind of have to leave behind a part of themselves to become a different version of themselves, and it just really made me mad in the moment, but it's definitely what he needed to hear, and it's a powerful form of love. Um, there's
I
a
was
lot.
gonna say, I feel like you could relate to Toto in that moment. Not that somebody was pushing you away in your life, not that I think to go to San Diego, but I mean to go from obviously high school to being a young adult, going across country to obviously Toto had to go away from his hometown to, evolve and become the great that Salvatore wanted him to. Similar to you, you felt like you needed to go to San Diego to do the things you wanted to do, and you felt like you needed that new scenery. So when that obviously, like I said, I've mentioned this three times now, sorry, but we didn't talk about the film after we watched it. But immediately after I was done watching it, I was like, when you see that teenage to adult Salvatore, I felt like I related that to you, even though I'm not you, but I felt like you too had a little bit of a similar path in that sense.
Yeah, and it's kind of scary to think about, but at the same time, it's a good reflection to have on myself and just where I'm at. Um,
Hmm.
like you mentioned, going to San Diego was like definitely a tough decision, and it came at a time where like a year ago before I enrolled, like I probably would have been like, I don't even want to go to college, but it definitely has me on a different path, and I'm grateful to be where I am right now. And I love movies, so it this movie really reinvigorated my love for movies, and I would say that you should watch it if you need any type of reminder as to why they're so important. And I think it kind of ties into Spider-Man 2 a little bit, where we were talking about why we need heroes and why we need these people who decide to make these tough choices every day. But
Hmm.
not saying that I'm saving the world every day, but in my own personal world, it's definitely a lot of pathways and choices that I had to make to get here. So
100%. And I've said this to you plenty of times. I tip my cap to you because I went to visit you once at San Diego. That is, it's different world out there, not in a bad sense, but from where we're from, comparing it to San Diego, totally different world. I mean, the flight is 6 hours, 6.5 hours. It's not like
it
you could just
flies
come
by for
home.
me now. It's like 2 hours
Yeah,
in my
I
head.
mean, you've probably done that flight. I mean, how many times do you do that flight a year? Like three times back and forth,
2 to 3,
pretty
yeah.
much. Yeah, I mean, I like flying. I like airports. That is the longest flight I've been on. But it's not like you can just come home at any weekend on a whim, like how most college kids do. Like if they want to come home and just, decompress and relax. You're just not saying it's shit, but you're in the shit. What, 8 months out of the year, pretty much. Like there is no hey, I just want to go home, see my hometown friends. I want to be with my family. You're just there the whole time. And I feel like Toto, when he moves away, it's not like he can just. They told him to never come back, so it's not like he can just go see his mom or sister or Salvatore whenever he wants. He has to just kind of, it's probably shitty in the beginning, and it's probably shitty. It's probably still shitty for you in moments, but you kind of just.
Well, San
I
Diego
mean,
can't be that bad, but
no, I mean in the sense of not being able to just like come home whenever.
yeah.
Obviously, San Diego. I went out there. I'm not a big fan of West Coast. I like East Coast, fast paced, just kind of everybody's grumpy. That's more so my style. But no, San Diego's beautiful. But in the sense of you can't just come home to the comfort of being home. You're obviously you've been there for 3 years now, but you're in your own world out there with not really. Obviously, you've made friends out there, but it's not home though to you.
Hmm.
It's still you're adjusting, and you don't get the comfort of just being in your hometown.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a decision that I have to make every time. Is just acknowledging that, I don't have everything in San Diego, but I do have a lot there, and I'm grateful for that.
Hmm.
And I work
And you've
towards
built a
my
lot
goals
there.
every day. Absolutely. I filmed my first short film there on crew with people on set, and that was really eye opening for me. But yeah, there's times I do miss where I'm from. There's times where I've missed seeing people that are family to me, friends that I would consider family. Sometimes even strangers that I haven't seen in like years, but
Hmm.
I'm working towards my goals, and that's all I could have wanted when I was a kid. So I related to Toto in that way heavily because you want that sentimentality. You want to wait for that girl in the rain, but life's gonna keep moving on, you know.
Yeah. It right when that kind of part in the film happens, like at the I don't know 2/3 mark. I don't know. It just instantly I was like, oh, that's Jathan in a lot of ways, in a good way. Yeah, I mean that's a lot of my questions. One thing I had, was there a favorite like time period of Toto Salvatore that you liked the most, like when he was a kid, teenager, adult? What was your favorite kind of era of him in the film?
It was definitely when he was a kid, and not to say that I'm like a super cynical dude, like just depressed all the time, but it definitely made me think about a time where you just kind of did whatever you wanted without any second guessing or anything like that when you're a kid. And I appreciate the director Giuseppe Tornatore for showcasing just a beautiful aspect to our lives that doesn't really get showcased a lot in films. I know Sean Baker does a great job of that in the Florida Project, just showcasing the innocence and naivety. But I loved it. Um, I wouldn't say any period is like better or worse than the other, but definitely when he was a kid, and yeah, it just I loved it. I liked when he was an adolescent and he's kind of realizing that people are going off exploring the world in their own way, and it was a good time for him to realize that he's on the cusp of transformation. Sometimes he's not able to realize that, and he needs reassurance from Alfredo. But at the end of the film, you have this town that comes to him and sees him and is in awe of what he's done and how much greatness he has brought to his hometown.
Yeah, I definitely think when he was a kid, they captured the adolescence feeling like I think perfectly. I don't know if there's a film that's really done it better. Obviously, the Florida Project, as you mentioned, they did a good job with that as well. But I feel like a lot of films that focus on kids, or like I don't know, preteen teens. I feel like, not saying they do a bad job, but I feel like there is there's just something missing, and this film I don't think has that. I mean, Toto as a kid is just completely wide-eyed, and he just in his mind is just endless possibilities. But I do say I do think him as an adult coming back was my favorite part of his um I guess age gaps in the film. I just because feel like I could relate to him more so in that aspect. But I think when he was a kid, which is majority of the film, they perfectly nailed that. I think those are the best moments of the film. I think they did such a good job. Whoever that kid actor is, I think it's one of the best child performances I've ever seen. He was amazing, so good, so confident. It was great to see.
You kind of touched on this earlier, but I was wondering what you thought about the ending and if you felt like it stuck the landing for you.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely. I wouldn't say it didn't stick the landing, but I mean, I feel like it was fairly predictable. Obviously, him going back, I didn't think that it would be anything too positive outside of seeing like his mom and his sister. But I just took the ending as I feel like as successful as Toto was, he did accomplish his dreams. He did what Alfredo wanted him to do. Like he followed his instructions. Don't come back. I want you to be great. He did that, but I feel like he just was kind of felt with regret once he was back there and saw the cinema destroyed. I feel like he probably was thinking in his head that whole time, like, okay, obviously I've done something with my life and made myself successful, but at what cost? And was it really worth it at the end of the day? And that's how I took it, which I liked. I thought they did a good job with it, but I mean, the ending didn't surprise me. It's kind of what I expected, not in a negative way, but it's nothing that kind of rocked me in any way. But yeah, I definitely I did like it, and I think Toto was just left with a lot of regret at the end of the day.
I guess it's a good problem to have when you're already rich and like basically Martin Scorsese.
Yeah. It confirmed that he turned into a director because I think that's something I
That
might
was
have
my
missed.
assumption because there's a couple scenes earlier in the film where you have this guy sitting alone in the theater and Alfredo's up in the projector room and he's like ringing the bell, and I interpreted that as like him watching his own film and like seeing what he liked and what he didn't like, and that
But
kind of
isn't when that guy wasn't that the priest when he rings the bell? Doesn't that mean he just wants that cut
oh,
from the movie?
I guess I kind of missed out on that, but
Yeah, I'm not trying to say you were wrong, but I'm pretty sure the priest did that. He did that for Alfredo, and he did it for Toto when he took over. I think he rings that just to show them, like, okay, this is the point where you
yeah,
cut the film, or make the mark to cut the film.
but he's definitely like a creative head, is what's implied.
100%, yeah. I don't know if you have any more questions or if you want to touch on anything else.
Um, I'd say we've touched about everything I wanted to say. I mean, there's a lot of there's like a couple days after where like it really clicked for me. Like it really did take a while, and I kind of talked to you about this, but sometimes I watch a film and I let it stew in my head for a couple days. Like there's not a period where like it just hits me instantly about how I feel it, but I don't know if you can relate to it, but it's just a lot of I really let it stew and sit with me.
No, I definitely, it definitely affected me a lot. And later that night, just because we wrapped up that film, I don't know, around like 8 or 9, and I was still wide awake. I like watching a lot of movies. I mean, we discussed this in episode 1. I like watching a lot, but I wanted something that I could just throw on that was like 90 minutes after I watched this, and I was emotional from this movie in a good way, but not I wasn't like physically crying. But I put on Toy Story 3 because I hadn't seen that in so many years, and I think obviously this film represents that adolescence feeling, and obviously how much you love movies. And Toy Story 3, I mean, It brings me back. I vividly remember walking to the theater watching that movie and just being wrecked the whole time because those are characters I grew up with, and you know,
As a
I'm sure everybody has
7-year-old.
seen. Yeah, by the time Toy Story 3 came out, and I'm not even lying, like I had seen 1 and 2 a million times. Like I still have the VHSs I used to put in at my grandmother's house of Toy Story. Like I watch those films constantly. I have my old I don't have I just changed my letterbox profile picture, but one I used to have a few months ago was me holding like Buzz and Woody in front of my grandmother's TV. But yeah, that movie just I wanted to watch it after Cinema Paradiso because it just brought back that adolescence feeling, that wide-eyed, wonderment, and you know, that's what movies do. That's what they should do to you. You should feel something from them, and obviously Cinema Paradiso did that perfectly. And to end off the night with Toy Story 3 was just kind of the icing on the cake, really.
That might be the best ending in film, okay. Like, just
It's
wraps up that
I
trilogy perfectly. I agree with Quentin Tarantino that it's the best trilogy.
yeah, I recently just got all three on Blu-ray. I did not buy the fourth one. We'll just keep it at that. But
I hardly
yeah,
remember that film. It's just kind of
I mean it's not awful, but it's not good. I won't. It's definitely not good.
it feels like
But
filler.
I would say it's definitely a cash grab because they introduce obviously a bunch of new characters. Not a bunch, but they introduce some new characters. But I don't know.
I don't
The first
understand how they're
three.
making five when four ends with Woody just leaving. Isn't that how it ends with him and Bo Peep? Like they go do their own thing.
I don't know if it ends that way. I know that they definitely did it at some point in the film, but I don't think no, they don't end that way. They all end getting back because Bonnie and her family are on like an RV trip, and some of them get separated, and then Woody, I think halfway through the film was like, okay, once I get everybody back together, I'm just gonna peace out. But I could be wrong, but I'm pretty
I'm
sure at
reading
the end
the Wikipedia right now. It says Woody shares an emotional goodbye with his friends and joins Bo as a lost toy.
that's some bullshit. Why did he do that?
Because
I've only
he
seen
didn't
that
have
movie.
Andy anymore. And
I've only seen that movie one time.
at the
Um,
beginning of the film, he's like not tapped in with the other toys because he realizes his owner doesn't mess with him like that.
his owner is
A
20
4-year-old
something years
girl,
older.
but like,
No, Bonnie loves him obviously, but
no, he
he's
doesn't. No, she
Andy's
doesn't.
toy.
She has bigger favorites than Woody.
No, she
That was like
doesn't.
the whole plot point.
You said when you first pulled this up, you said, "Oh, I don't remember Toy Story 4 that well."
Well, I couldn't tell you what happens verbatim, but I like have a basic idea of what happened.
Woody might not be her favorite, yes, but she loves all those toys that were given to her. And Woody was the
You got to
first toy.
rewatch Toy Story 4. I'm not
No,
saying you need to, but you
no,
definitely need a
I
refresher.
want Bonnie likes all those toys that Andy gave her. Woody was actually the first toy in Toy Story 3 that she
This is
actually
why
took.
I hate Toy Story 4 because it kind of fucking like shits on three's ending. And that's a perfect ending.
She loves all those toys. He might not be her favorite toy, she loves them all. See, this is the type of petty, stupid arguments we get into. Stupid
Is
stuff
that
like
your head
this.
canon?
Huh?
I said, is that your head canon?
But I don't even know what that means.
It's like your own interpretation.
No, it's not my own interpretation. She loves all the toys. She might not like Woody the best, but she didn't just throw him away.
She didn't throw him away, but Woody was like having a crisis, dude.
Whatever. I think we're pretty much done talking about Cinema
Headcanon
Paradiso.
refers to something a fan imagines to be true about a character, even though no information supporting that belief is spelled out in the text.
Our next episode is going to be Toy Story 4 review, and I can't wait to tell you I got you. I told you so. That's what it's going to be.
I'm vetoing
Okay,
that.
this is the stupid things we argue about. But okay, back to Cinema Paradiso. We both loved it. I gave it a 4.5. Jathan gave it a 5. I think it's fair to say this will be a film that won't be a one-time watch for us in our lives. I'm sure this will be a film that we would love to come back to. Um, I feel like if we ever had kids one day, which hopefully is the goal, but I feel like this would be a film you would want to show your kids just the importance of cinema and how much we love cinema.
I would show them Cars before I showed them that, but
I would too, but yeah, it's definitely. I feel like if you're a fan of cinema, I don't really see a world in how you don't enjoy this. I'm not saying it has to be your favorite, but I don't see how you don't love this
and
in
art.
some degree. Hmm. Yeah. So if you're good with that, I'm good. I do have our next segment ready, which I told you to prep for, and I totally forgot to prep for it. But I
I
do
think
have
I
some
over
movies in mind.
prepped
Okay, if you don't mind going first,
because this could be
that
its
would,
own episode.
yeah, if you don't mind going first, that would be great because I was an idiot and I forgot to prep, but I do have obviously a favorites list on Letterboxd that I'm gonna refer to. So if you
Okay.
don't mind going first, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, sure. Um, Nick texted me right after we watched Cinema Paradiso. He said, "Come up with 3 to 5 international films that are our favorites," and
Hmm.
I came up with a lot. I'm gonna give you
That's fine.
3 just to give you my
Hmm.
3, but I do have honorable mentions and a want to watch list. So I'll
Okay,
just go
absolutely
with
go
mine
for it.
first. Okay, my first one. I know you love Apocalypse Now, so this is kind of right up your alley. Aguirre the
Hmm.
Wrath of God.
Okay, I haven't heard of that one honestly.
The next one is Possession by Andrei Zlowski, if I pronounce that correctly. It's a
Do you want
horror.
to say what the films are a little bit?
Yeah, so Aguirre the Wrath of God was a film that kind of is similar to Apocalypse Now, where most of the film is like, I wouldn't say single setting, but it's taking place on a boat, and you have these passengers who are growing tired of the captain, Aguirre. And I won't go too much into detail, but the production side of the film is really interesting to look at because people were tired of the director on set, and he was just super belligerent to everyone. And
Hmm.
it kind of ties into the story a little bit because they started to go crazy. And I want to see where they filmed it. Um, they filmed it in the Amazon River in South America.
What year did that come out?
1972.
Oh, okay, it's. I thought it'd be older. It sounds older.
It's really fun. Um, my next pick is Possession. It's just a super intense body horror, creepy film. It was made by a Polish filmmaker right after his super brutal breakup, and you just see it all over the film. It's about this relationship that is falling apart, and it's a really creepy film. It's nightmarish. Go check it out as soon as you can.
That's
And
actually a film I started one day a couple years ago, but I like turned it on for like 5 minutes and turned it off just because I didn't have enough time to watch it. But that's I really want to watch that. And then apparently, Robert Pattinson is I don't know if it's still in production, but he's supposed to be producing a remake of this movie.
I would check that out.
Yeah,
Um, I'm currently writing a short film, and this film is definitely super inspirational to what I'm writing. And you kind of
breaking
see
news to
that.
me.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
And my last film is a French New Wave film called Cleo from 5 to 7. And
I can't wait to watch that too.
just a super relaxing film to watch, honestly. Paris is beautiful, and it's something that, like, it just really takes me out of my head a little bit. Um, Again, I'm not gonna go super into the plot, but I
Hmm.
could get my blood drawn and like still be relaxed watching it. It's just like I'm a sucker for French New Wave.
Yeah, that's I've seen. I would say a handful of French films, but not the French New Wave. I haven't. I have a list saved on Letterboxd. I haven't tapped into any of them, which is shame on me. But I'm definitely excited to get into those because all those ones you named, I haven't seen them yet. So that's definitely ones I gotta add to my watch list.
Get around to it.
Especially Cleo 5 to 7. Um,
International
that's
cinema is just really cool to me because it's very underlooked compared because we're based in the U.S. Hollywood is just much bigger than a lot of these other companies, and it's very rare you get a time when you are able to watch some of these in theaters. So when you can, definitely take the time to check out some of these if you love film. As for honorable mentions, I have three. I'm
mhm.
gonna say Godzilla. I'm not gonna say which one, but I
Just
would
as a whole IP.
definitely.
Hmm.
Minus one was amazing. I'll say
Mm,
that.
I agree. Yeah, that was great watching that with you in theaters a couple of years ago. Was that? Yeah, a couple of years ago.
That was around Christmas too, so that was just like a very unexpected banger. Um,
Hmm.
Next one I have Umberto D and Ghost in the Shell.
Could you pull that up? I don't think I know what that one is. Yeah, I've never heard of this.
It's an Italian film. I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but if you love dogs, definitely check it out.
Nice.
Um, and here's Ghost in the Shell. I know you've seen it, but just
Oh yes, the
love
animated.
love the animation here. It's
Hmm.
amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely not for everyone, but I think Japanese film is definitely a great entertainment field, and I'm guessing you'll have a pick from Japanese cinema. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, for sure. I would say either Japan or South Korea is probably my favorite international market for films. Just I feel like that's the most I've seen. But yeah, my list isn't like I said, I was an idiot. I forgot to do this, but all these films that I'm about to name are in my favorites list. So I love them all dearly. Obviously you mentioned Godzilla, but my favorite Godzilla to this day, and I'm actually this is prepping for the future, but in January of next year, I'm gonna run through every Godzilla film ever made. There's about 40 something of them. That's my plan. But
wow.
my favorite one that I've seen by far is Godzilla, the original from 1954 by Ishiro Honda. I've done a video on my TikTok about it actually too. I think it's perfect. I'm a sucker for miniature sets. Um, there's filmmakers today that still do miniature sets. Like Nolan is very notorious for doing that. I love films that do that because it's just practicality is better than CGI at the end of the day, in my opinion. So I love that. The next is High and Low, which I actually just rewatched because Spike Lee's movie, Highest to Lowest, that's coming out this week, is a remake of that. It's by Akira Kurosawa, who is probably one of the most famous Japanese directors ever, maybe the most famous. He is fantastic. He did like Seven Samurai, films like that. I've only seen maybe 4 or 5 of his films, and he has a bunch. But High and Low is my favorite. It's a detective thriller, which I've said on episode 1 is my favorite genre, so it's right up my alley. I think anybody that likes thrillers, detectives will love that. The next is Autumn Sonata, which is by Igmar Bergman, who I haven't seen a bunch of his films. That's kind of a blank spot in my film journey that I need to fill, but Autumn Sonata is great. It's just about a mother and a daughter relationship that is very fractured. The mother, played by Ingrid Bergman, who is the star of Casablanca, she is the mother in this to the actress Liv Ullmann, and it's just a really really tough film about a parent and a parent and child relationship that, for many, many years there wasn't a lot of love there or connection, but kind of in the 2 hours of this film, or however long it is, they kind of are reconnected by force, and a lot of their arguments and differences are hashed out here, which is it was really good to see. I've only seen it once, but I was blown away by it, and I recently picked it up on physical media, so I can't wait to rewatch that soon. Next one is Cure by, let me make sure I get the director correct because I really like this movie. Kiyoshi Kurosawa, so not mixing up with Akira Kurosawa. Kiyoshi Kurosawa, Cure. It is another detective thriller. Um, it's very famous on Letterboxd, very popular. So
I'm
I'm
adding
sure
these
many
to my
people.
watch list
Nice.
as we go.
Yeah. I'm sure many people have seen this. It's I've only seen it once. I honestly I don't even know if there's a way to spoil this because it is just so. I've just never seen anything like it before, and it's not meant to scare you. Like it's not a horror movie, but I remember the first time I watched it, I was shook because just of how brutal, more so on the mental side that this film does to you is crazy. I admire detectives. Like I think detectives are so cool. Like that's a big reason why Batman is my favorite fictional character. But it's one of the best films I've ever seen. I currently have it at a 4.5 out of 5. I know upon rewatch, which I'm long overdue, it will go to a 5. It is just it's so damn good. And if there is one film I recommend out of all these that I've mentioned, I think this one anybody can watch. It is just it's amazing. It's so good. My last one, I don't if you don't mind pulling this up. This movie has been remade, and there's a lot of movies like it. But The Killer by John Woo. John Woo is a uh, Chinese filmmaker who has made a bunch of um, Chinese films, but he's also made a lot of American Hollywood films like Mission Impossible 2, Hard Target. But this is by far my favorite film I've seen of him. It's just about a cop and a hitman who eventually cross paths and start working together to pretty much just take down a bad guy. It's a very simple plot line. It's not complex, but I think what stands out about this film for me is I'm not a big action guy, if I'm being honest. Like I know a lot of people love the John Wick movies and stuff like that. Not I don't think they're bad. They're just not really my cup of tea. But this film I think has some of the best gun fu action of all time. It's so dramatic. It's so all over the place in its action. It's so, it's not realistic. They just have pretty much unlimited ammo just going crazy. But
Gun
I think it has
Fu,
the best final. John Woo, yeah. Oh, yeah, gun fu, which I didn't make that up. I think that's a real term people use. Like
real
they say
genre.
John Wick. Yeah. Like John Wick is gun fu. This is obviously gun fu. But I love it. I've seen it twice. I have it on DVD, and it was actually hard to I had to watch this movie first on the website Internet Archive.
Yeah.
That's the first time I watched it was on there because that's the only place I could find it. But now actually they have it on Amazon Prime to rent and buy. I recommend this a lot. If you're an action guy, I very much recommend it. It's so damn good. It's really good.
Yeah, that's
That
going
was
in
my
my
little
watch list too.
Yeah, that it's a really fun. If you just need something to turn your brain off, have fun. You don't really care about a crazy story or plot structure, put that on. It's a lot of fun.
Is there any that are on your watch list? Because I have some on mine that
Yeah, let me
I
check
can
that
go
out right now.
over.
I do.
I can go over
Let's see
mine
what I
first
got.
if you want. I know you've seen one of these, and
Yeah, you can go over yours. I have mine pulled up, but you can go over yours. I have a good amount in mine.
all right, I know next to nothing about this film, but I know
Hmm.
it's loved by a lot of people in the film community, and that is Old Boy.
Can you pull it up on your watch list if you don't mind? I mean, I know what it is, but I just visualize it. You don't know about any of the spoilers of this?
No, and we're gonna keep
Keep
it
it
that
that way.
way.
Yep, yep. Don't, yep. I got to see this in theaters at do you remember that theater that's in Cambridge, the landmark cinema theater where we saw the Iron Claw at a couple years ago?
Yeah, Good
I
venue.
saw this there for the I saw this there for the first time, and I knew nothing, zero. I didn't know a single thing, and I think my jaw literally hit the floor when I saw this. I remember getting in the car and I just sat there for 5 minutes. I couldn't believe what I just saw.
I know what you're probably going to say to this, but would you wait for, if you're in my shoes, would you wait to watch it at home or would you wait for a theatrical release?
Um, I mean, I don't see a theatrical release happening anytime soon because they did it 2 years ago because it was obviously 20 years. I don't think, I mean, it's a beautiful shot movie, but I don't think it's something that you'll be missing anything out if you watch it at home on a TV. I think that's perfectly fine. I will say that when you do watch this, nothing else has to be going on. Homework done, texting no, but nothing. Just you need to be
Locked in.
completely zoned. Yeah, this is a movie. The more you're locked in, the more you'll be rewarded. So, yeah.
Okay. That was my first one. And I think
Hmm.
I'll just rifle off on these three because I don't think you've seen them.
Hmm.
I have Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Suspiria, and Black Narcissus.
I don't know. I've never heard of Black Narcissus.
It's a British film. I was
Mm.
watching a YouTube video and it was about cinematography informing storytelling, and they were using a lot of examples and footage from this film.
Mm. Nice. Yeah, Portrait of a Lady on Fire. I have been pushing off that movie for way too long, and for no particular reason. I got to get around to it because that's another very popular movie on Letterboxd that I mean I haven't seen a bad review about it, so I'm definitely overdue to watch that.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this now on the letterbox page, and instead of stars, you have a fire emoji.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Um, I have some things in my actual watch list if you didn't mind pulling that up.
Yeah,
My watch list isn't my watch list isn't too big. I try not to add too much in it because I feel like it can get too overwhelming. But I have The Handmaiden, which came out. It was 2016, actually, a little bit um older than I thought. But by Park Chan Wook, who did Old Boy, as you just pulled up.
mm,
I have wanted to watch this film. I think before I even got Letterboxd, I knew about this film. So I'm overdue. I really want to watch it. I don't know much about it, so sorry if I don't have much thoughts.
oh,
But
don't sweat it.
yeah. Next is Elevator to the Gallows, which I think is a French New Wave film. It's one that I saw somebody talk about either on TikTok or YouTube that really caught my eye. Have you seen it or no?
I have not. I haven't heard of it either.
Um, yeah, I don't remember really what it's about, but it caught my eye. I got to get to it. I've had it in my watch list for far too long. And I'll just say one more. I would say I Saw the Devil. I'm pretty sure it is a South Korean film. I've seen a lot of once again, I've seen a lot of edits of it on TikTok before. I don't know the director. I don't really know the actors in it, but I think the title is super intriguing. I think from what I've read from the synopsis of it, it seems like something that would be right at my alley with kind of the thriller detective genre. So, I watch a lot of movies for whatever reason this year, and I don't know really why I have taken such a dip in international film. I feel like the last I feel like 2013, not 2013, 2023 and 2024 I was watching a bunch. Kind of just the classics just to catch myself up, but I don't know why this year I've taken such a dip. My movie schedule is chaotic and I have it planned out months in advance, but next year I'm gonna make it a mission to watch more international films for sure.
You should, and it'll kind of
I
give
oh
you.
I want to mention Touki Bouki real quick because I think you've seen it
Mm,
before, right?
yeah,
I watched that. I watched that. I think 2 or 3 weeks ago now. I mean, it's not I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. It's not my favorite film, but I think it was really effective in what it was trying to showcase. I mean, obviously cultures are very different around the world, and I think not that I'm oblivious to this, but when it showed them obviously, taking, what was it? Was it cows, if I'm not mistaken, or cattle or
I think
something,
it is Cal.
when they were kind of obviously killing them for food, or for ritual reasons. It's very shocking because I mean, there's nothing in American culture that is like that we see on a daily, but there's something just so, I don't know. It's scary to see, but also that they're doing it not in a malicious tent. So stuff like that in the movie really stuck out to me, and I think a lot of people can relate to this. They're just a couple that wants to kind of leave their hometown, go to France. They want to discover a new part of the world. They want to have new lives. I feel like to some degree everybody wants to, discover new things, see new places. So that part of the film was really, really nice.
I'm glad you brought this film up because I did watch it in school, and like you said earlier with the cow scene, which spoilers is the first scene in the film, and it's
Hmm.
incredibly grotesque. But
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, but the way like the sound is used in that scene, it's like more pleasant than you would expect against the
Yeah, I don't.
backdrop of a cow being slaughtered, which kind of goes into what you were saying, introducing like a different culture and realizing that there's different values, there's different expectations. So
Mhm.
I thought it was a really beautiful film. I mean, I like the story, even though it's a little slower paced, but it's
Yeah.
very down to earth. I mean, you're gonna learn about this from us, but we really just like these movies where people just go out and do things, and it's kind of like day to day life.
Yeah. I've definitely grown to like it because I know when I was younger, that wasn't like, I hate bringing up the same examples, but Seven, obviously there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens, but you never see it. Seven is very much a reactive film. It's very dialogue heavy. So I remember the first time I watched it, I wasn't into that because that's not what I was expecting. But as I've grown with films, I I love a little bit slow paced films. Sometimes work for me, sometimes don't. But I love dialogue heavy, just day to day life type of stuff. Which that Touki Bouki is a perfect example of that. And our boy Scorsese has done a huge job kind of getting that film released worldwide because that film was obviously, I don't know, then this is poor on me for not remembering or researching. I don't know what country exactly Touki Bouki is in, but Scorsese has done a good job with not just this film, but um, a lot of international feature films getting them wider released and restored into 4Ks.
It's Senegal.
Senegal, okay, yeah. I probably should have remembered that, but yeah,
Yeah, we watched that for African cinema. Um,
nice.
just lost my train of thought. Definitely watch more international cinema. There's
Yeah.
like
And you can start slow. Just start with the ones that are popular on Letterboxd. That, I mean,
watch
I think this.
Godzilla.
I'm watch Godzilla. Perfect. Yeah, the Japanese Godzilla's not the American Warner Brothers. They've been doing a shit job with that, in my opinion. Watch Minus One. It's on Netflix. You can watch the color version. You can watch the black and white version. Watch that. Perfect thing to start. And this is this is one of the films I started with international was Parasite. I think it's the most popular international film. It won Best Picture, which is very rare for international films to do nowadays. It's basic. Everybody and their mother has seen it, but it's something good to start with. Might as well start somewhere. So those are two that are very easy to watch. I think Parasite is on HBO. I think not. I think Godzilla minus one is on Netflix. So very easy to start with.
Didn't know that. Definitely, like, don't get turned off by the fact that like it's in a different language. I know there's a couple people that I know personally that will refuse to watch something because it's in a different language because their process is like, oh, I don't want to read the movie, but
Do you remember when Squid Games was coming out our senior year, the beginning of senior year? I didn't watch the show, but everybody was like, "I'm not watching. I'm not watching it." And is Squid Games Japanese? I forget. I don't know. It might be
Korean.
South Korean. Yeah. People were like, I'm not watching that in Korean. I'm gonna wait till the English dub comes out. I'm like, just read the fucking subtitles. I'm like, it's not it. You would think it distracts you and you focus so much on the subtitles, but you really see it all. it doesn't. It's not a distraction in my opinion. Maybe because I'm used to it now, but
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of been watching like international stuff for a while now. I watched a lot of anime when I was in middle school and elementary, and
oh, true, yeah,
I don't know. There's just different things that I pay attention to in an international film. Like I'm more reading their body language and like their voice
yes.
inflections rather than what the actual dialogue is saying. And I think it's really interesting to watch these films because you obviously don't understand the dialect they're speaking, but it draws your eyes to different aspects of the film and it shows you how layered cinema is and how much really goes
You
into it.
you explained that perfectly. The body language thing is like key. It's like you could probably just watch the film and not read it, and you could just watch their mouth move and the body language, and you would somewhat understand the situation. That was perfect way to explain that.
Thank you. And it's just nice to see stuff outside of Hollywood. You know, obviously a huge uh, influence for a lot of these international films, and you really just have to put yourself in other people's shoes.
Yeah, and there's so many films that come out nowadays that are American production films that come from foreign films. Like obviously Spike Lee's new movie is based off the Japanese High and Low. Like there was a horror movie last year with James McAvoy that literally came out. I don't know what country, so I don't want to get it wrong, but it literally came out 2 years ago, and America already made the American version of it. So international cinema is it's important to see different cultures, different types, styles of filmmaking. B, I mean, as much as international film pulls from American film pulls a shit ton from international film as well.
We should definitely do a couple episodes on international cinema. That's a great topic.
Yeah.
Is there anything
I
else
mean,
you
if
wanted
you
to touch on?
not touch on, but if you're down to do it, I had it in the rundown. I don't know if you're down, but I play this game a lot, the Really movie connection game.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever played it, but I make a bunch of videos on TikTok about it. I wanted to see if you want to do a collaborative version of it. I have your stream open so I can see your screen. I don't, do you know how to, have you, I'm sure you've seen my videos, but do you know how to play? If not, I can quickly explain.
I think you should quickly explain for me and the
Okay.
audience.
Yeah, true. So every day they post a new one, just like kind of Wordle and all those games. So you get two movies, and obviously on the screen right now today is the Three Amigos to Footloose. And what you have to do is, so you start with Three Amigos. You have to name an actor in that movie. So I actually did this one today, so I'm not going to reveal it right off the bat. But let's say I start with Chevy Chase, who is in Three Amigos. Then you would type in your name, you would type in his name, click next, and then you would have to pick a Chevy Chase movie. So then you just go down the line. So you go movie, actor, and you have to connect it to the last film that they show. Obviously, today the last film is Footloose, and you obviously want to do it in the least amount of connections as possible. But the way I play, as long as you make the connection, it's good. I play this on the days I record it from my TikTok. I do it authentic. Like I wait till I get home from work and I actually play it, but I play it with my coworkers every morning. Because one of my coworkers is a big movie guy, and the other one he likes movies, but he doesn't know too much. But we love playing this, and we all try to compete against each other so you can do it the quickest.
I'm excited. Um, I need to rewatch Three Amigos, but that movie's
I
hilarious.
I know what the film is. I have not seen it though. It's a film I want to see
That
though.
movie is hilarious, but I'm kind of nervous. I'm gonna suck at this because I've definitely like I play Wordle, and it's like
Mhm.
a struggle. But let's just do this.
I play a lot of movie games too. Obviously, I make videos about them, so I'm very kind of. And I mean, if you want to try to solve this, and I can give you because I did do this one today, actually at work, so I know how to connect it. But if you want to try to take a go for it, and I can help you out along the way if you need help,
I'm gonna
and you
need
can,
a
yeah,
hint.
you can look at the hints. Yeah, it tells you who's in the cast for the movies.
Okay, I'll just go with what you went with, Chevy
Shit.
Chase.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a hint.
So I would for me, I went Vacation, but not his Vacation movies. The Vacation that came out in 2015. I don't know if you ever saw that movie. That's what I would go with next. It's just called Vacation. Yeah, that one.
Okay. I have
And
not
then
seen
from
this film.
okay, so this one you're gonna have to type in. Well, his name will pop up in the cast, but the kid, his name is Skylar, and I always forget his last name. But Skylar, yeah,
I'm
whatever his
I'm
last
gonna
name
go
is.
with Chris Hemsworth because that's something I can work with.
Okay, okay. Let's see if you can work. Okay, you try to work. You know who's in Footloose, or do you not know?
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, okay, okay. I was gonna say it's good to have somebody in mind for the last movie. So let's see if you can. I think you could do this if you really think about it. I still haven't seen this Men in Black.
I don't plan on it. Bang.
Okay, Tessa Thompson.
And
I
if my roommate Jack is watching this, you're gonna love this pick right here. Creed Tessa Thompson.
I was I love Tessa Thompson and Creed, but I was gonna say though, keep in mind you got to try to get to Kevin Bacon.
Oh, I have to connect this.
Yeah, I would hit the re. Well, okay, do
I
you
got
can keep
this.
going if you have something in mind. You have something in mind. Okay, Sylvester Stallone. Okay, okay, this is what I was trying to get you to. Yep. Okay, okay.
So you're just trying to get like the longest connection.
No, you want it to be as quick as possible.
Okay.
But as long as you do it, it's fine. Okay, this is how I did mine today. This is how I ended as well. Um, yep, yep. That's exactly how I ended mine today.
He's the main character of that
Yep.
special, if you ask me.
Because the Kevin Bacon movies, man, I couldn't tell you a whole lot outside of Footloose. He's not an actor I know too well.
He's in everything.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly how it's done. What's the average today?
Six and a
Six and a
half.
half.
Brutal.
The fastest was three. Yeah, that's yeah. You ended it exactly how I ended mine today.
So that happens like every day on a certain time, and then by the
Yeah,
time you get home, that's like perfect.
yeah. So on the days that I record my Reely videos, I do one every Wednesday and every Sunday on my TikTok. But I pretty much play it every day at work. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
pretty cool.
they give you a new one every single day, just like Wordle and all that. And we're not gonna do stuff like that every episode, but I think it's fun to incorporate fun stuff like that in because I love movie games and I did you who did you have for senior year? Did you take physics senior year or no?
No, no shot, dude. I was flying by senior year.
I forget his name, and this is such a sin. But my class, that was probably my favorite class I've ever had in high school. But some kids we know, Damien and Keith,
Yeah.
they would always pull it up on his computer. He would let us like at the end of the class. They would always pull up the game Framed and the game Movie Duel, which are two like film guessing games that are in the realm of really that we would play all the
Hmm.
time, which were a lot of fun. But yeah, that was unless you got much more to add. I That was episode 2. Obviously, Cinema Paradiso was our film review of the week. We I feel like we're having a great time doing this podcast. Obviously, we're gonna
I'm having fun.
hopefully,
Voice
yeah. I
crack,
hope
but
it happens to me all the
I'm
time.
having fun. Fucking idiot.
It's all good. We're gonna try to keep making this better every week. We're not gonna get complacent. We're gonna do the best we can. The time we're recording this, by the time this comes out, obviously episode 1 will already be out. But at our time of recording this, we haven't released it yet. But I'm gonna be making clips on our separate TikTok page. We haven't decided what our next film is for episode 3, but we're gonna keep trying to do as much fun stuff as possible. I'm already thinking into the future for like a Halloween special and a Christmas special and all crap like that. But I'm having a great time with this, and
No, it's great.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, go for it. I just spieled. Go for it.
so this is the last episode of both of us in mass, and I think we
Take
should.
that off because it's making a very red glow on your face.
I think we should since I'm head back to San Diego, I think
Hmm.
we should cover something more tropical next week.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Yeah, obviously you're going next Friday, right?
Uh
22nd, 23rd.
Today is Friday, so yeah, next Friday.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll record episode 3 while you're
We
still
could do
here. We
Friday.
Yeah, we could if you're down for it, I would be obviously down. We're gonna have to decide
Do
what our next
comedy.
movie is. I have you said I have a tropical comedy in mind. I wonder if you're thinking about the same one.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
That's not what I was thinking, but I mean, if that's
Just
what.
because it's San Diego.
Oh, okay. I was
But
gonna say that's definitely not tropical, but yeah.
I'm wondering what you're coming up with.
Okay, the one I'm coming up with, I definitely need to rewatch it, but it's tropical and it's a comedy. I think it would be fun. Not San Diego though, but maybe we could review both because I've seen Fast Times fairly recently. But yeah,
There's
that's
a
pretty
character
much.
in that film. I forget his name, but I had a roommate that looked exactly like the dude in the middle here, like exactly like him.
Of
Like
Sean Penn in the middle.
yeah, I had the same personality as his character and everything. It was kind of hilarious.
Oh God,
He loved that
I'm
movie
happy.
too.
I don't think I met him. I hope I didn't meet him.
No, not yet.
Okay. But yeah, that's it for episode 2. Hopefully we did a good job with Cinema Paradiso. It's our first true film review we've done on this channel, so you know we're gonna obviously try to be in depth as possible, but also we don't want to come across like talking and acting like people we're not. We want to give our reaction and our kind of our thoughts of the film. We're not trying to sound, like super scholar critics, which I think would be not authentic to us anyway.
No,
But yeah, I had a great time.
leave a
You want to
comment.
send us off? Yeah, if you have any,
Leave us an
if you're
email.
watching this, if you're watching this and you want to comment anything, I don't care if it's a positive or negative thing. All comments are welcome. But yeah,
Repost it.
it was yeah, I had a good time today, and yeah, signing
Subscribe.
off at episode 2. Subscribe, yes.